Zipping through the Chandigarh-Kulu-Manali highway to the cooler environs of Manali and beyond has been such a high, especially after the new 4-lane highway. The Atal tunnel leading up to the rough and the tricky road to Leh has enticed zillions into making this excruciating trip, testing the endurance of man and machine. But did the locals, the tourists, or the government even pause to note all this at what cost? Well, the cost is now dawning upon the residents of Himachal Pradesh, just as it had driven the shit out of Uttarakhandis in 2013. The cloudburst at Kedarnath and the subsequent slush of mud, trees, boulders, devastating everything in its path. It was like a sledgehammer flattening everything in the midst. More than 10,000 people had died, mostly pilgrims visiting Kedarnath, Badrinath, Joshimath, Gangotri and Yamunotri. The images of Uttarakhand have now paled in comparison to the recent devastation in Himachal Pradesh. 3 cloudbursts in 2 days in Kulu-Manali region and over 29 flash floods recorded in the state, of which more than 50% occurred between 8th and 10th of July. But this shall be termed as a natural calamity. Obviously, the governments, both the central and the state, shall hide this lame excuse being flashed brightly and hide under this lame excuse and wash their hands off the mayhem they have helped create over the years. With thousands of tourists still stranded up till the snow-laden Spiti Valley, more than 100 have already lost their lives. Countless are injured and property worth 5,000 crores plus has been destroyed. The culprit, but obviously a natural disaster caused by climate change which had earlier demolished Uttarakhand in 2013. But nothing can be far from the ground reality that this assertion makes. This is a man-made disaster. I repeat, this is a man-made disaster. Nature is being blamed for a man-made disaster. Climate change and weather system changes had a minor role to play in this devastation that we have seen its play in Himachal Pradesh and various other regions in India. Rather, the tragedy of Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh are so identical that one is left to wonder, shall we ever learn from our repeated mistakes? Frankly, it doesn't appear to be so. IMD, that is the Indian Meteorological Department, defines extreme heavy rainfall events as one in which more than 205 mm of rainfall happens at any place within 24 hours. Hundreds of such extreme rainfall events take place throughout the year. Let me substantiate this with data. In 2019, 48 such events happened in the month of June, 143 in the month of July, 255 in the month of August, and 62 in the month of September, totaling to 508 extreme rainfall situations. Likewise, a total of 341 such instances were recorded in 2020, a total of 323 in 2021, 376 in 2022. So these instances of extreme rainfall are not an aberration. Most of these extreme rainfalls have led to flooded cities, destroyed towns, villages, and completely washed up and blotched up hills. Till now, only 2 extreme rain conditions, one which happened in 2013 in Uttarakhand and the other that happened in 2017 in Chennai, can be attributed to climate change. Rest are not. So extreme rainfall in Kashmir in 2014, in Bihar in 2016, in Chandigarh in 2017, in Kerala in 2018, Pune and Kolhapur in 2019, Maharashtra in 2020, Assam, Meghalaya, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh in 2021, or the incidences that happened in Amarnath, Gujarat, Orissa, Assam and Bengaluru in 2022 were not a direct result of climate change. Even if we were to look at the IMD data of this year, we have had excess rain in Chandigarh by 629%. It's been recorded up till now this year. Ladakh 578%. Himachal Pradesh 279%. Punjab 198%. And Delhi 167%. Rajasthan has recorded 118% of excess rain in the month of July. But when spread over the entire monsoon activity, these are mere blips. We are headed for a very normal monsoon this year, unless something untoward happens with the weather system hereafter. The point of concern, however, is the heavy rainfall in a very short duration of time. And that has been a factor of warming up of the oceans by over 1.5 degrees, especially the Arabian Sea. In 2019, we had 508 cases of extreme rainfall. Has this year seen an increase due to the warming of Arabian Sea, the El Nino weather conditions, and cyclone Biparjoy? These factors are yet to be established to contribute to the extreme rainfall conditions that India has witnessed up till now. Is this an aberration? No, it's not. So what triggered the massive tragedy that we have seen in Himachal Pradesh? Let me explain this like the weathermen do usually. Warming of Himalayas have not been uniform. Some parts of the mountain chain are amplifying global warming, leading to rapid local warming, as was seen with high temperatures in Himachal Pradesh during this summer. Irregular weather patterns during the monsoon superpose on these local features as a result of wind expanding or compressing as they race up due to heat or race down due to condensation in narrow valleys. The results are cloudbursts, heavy rainfall, or at times extreme heat wave conditions. But the real culprit are the disuniform terrain, such as the deforestation, which leads to massive erosion of the soil, flattening of land for agricultural purposes, and land abuses such as diversion of river beds to construct roads, highways, water reservoirs, check dams on mountain rivers for hydropower projects, blowing away of the mountain slopes to accommodate roads or housing complexes, and above all, blocking water bodies and water channels with illegal concrete construction. It is this man-made obstruction which plays havoc with the natural flow of water and survival of ecosystem, which lead to massive damage under extreme rain conditions. Now please sample this. Himachal Pradesh has seen massive infrastructure developmental projects over the past 10 odd years. 4-laning of 2 highways from Chandigarh, one to Shimla and the other to Manali, has been one of the biggest developmental projects for connectivity. Since 1st of July, over 100 landslides have been reported on the 4-lane expressway between Chandigarh and Manali. 60 landslides have been recorded till now between Chandigarh and Shimla on the 4-lane road. A part of Manali highway near Mandi town has been completely washed away by the overflowing bayas. This is the new highway which was just inaugurated. There has not been a single monsoon where landslides have not happened on the 4-lane leading up to Shimla since the time the construction started. Currently, 1,200 roads in Himachal Pradesh are blocked due to landslides. A landslide risk assessment has pegged 77 blocks and 18,577 villages as danger prone due to illegal, unauthorized, and also badly planned construction and widening of road activities. Mindless development with uttermost disregard to the ecosystem has resulted in a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. And it exploded in Himachal. Add to this the proliferation of hydro projects in Himachal Pradesh, with 813 dams adding up to power generation capacity of 10,264 megawatts. Himachal Pradesh has added a huge pressure on its entire soil belt. Imagine the state shall be further adding 27,436 megawatt of hydropower generation capacity in coming years, of which 24,000 megawatt will come from its 3 water basins, the Satluj, Ravi and Beas. Rampant hydropower project constructions have led to altering of the course of the rivers, silt and deposits which construct the flow of the water in the rivers, tributaries and nalas being choked, and huge pile of construction waste and garbage which is being piled up on the river bed. This is a recipe for disaster when the river gets inundated by excess water, especially during extreme rain conditions. I'll give an example. The hydel project near Mandi's Pandoh town is a pointer. On 3rd of July, a cloudburst led to a heavy deluge. Till then, the water was being held in the dam feeding the hydel project. With excessive rain pouring down, the floodgates were opened without any warning, and the gushing water tore through the river system and destroyed everything along its riverside. All construction, houses, farms, bridges, everything. Was this not a man-made disaster? Is this due to climate change? Is this a natural disaster? Let me come out with another example. Jairam Thakur, the famous politician from Himachal Pradesh, who was the former chief minister, had assured that massive developmental projects would come by his constituencies. Thunag is part of his constituency. On 10th of July in the afternoon, post a cloudburst, a torrent of mud and water carrying tons of deodar logs slashed through the entire market of Thunag. Residents had never ever heard of such a massive tragedy. They had never seen logs floating down the streets of the town. The real cause? Here it is. The real cause of this slush, mud and deodar log was hundreds of illegally felled logs and trees which were dumped in the riverbed to provide for the construction of a road to connect the village, so that the chief minister could boast during his re-poll that he had connected the village with the capital. The river channels were blocked, road construction led to a lot of construction waste being dumped, trees were chopped indiscriminately, and everything was dumped in the riverbed. No planning, no approval, no ecological damage assessment report, just a fanciful promise. Result was for the world to witness, which we have seen. Various studies have shown that Himachal Pradesh is now gripped in a vicious cycle of developmental projects like poorly planned highways, illogically justified hydel projects, massive uninterrupted civil construction along the riverbeds and the eco-sensitive mountain slopes, and even the increasing cases of cloudbursts and extreme rainfall adding up to this entire vicious circle where you can't escape the other. Is there a way out? Yes, there is. But it's a very long, winding and a difficult one, which would be considered anti-developmental by the political builder, construction, mega project lobby, who have all the political and economic clout to silence the needs of the hour. Yet, can something be done is the question. Yes, lots can be done. Let me put that also in front of you. Firstly, a robust early warning system that alerts people should be installed. This system could include meteorological observations, including Doppler weather radars and high-resolution weather prediction models. Secondly, continuous monitoring of rainfall patterns, river levels, and advanced flood warning systems. Thirdly, improving and maintaining the climate resilient infrastructure such as drainage systems, clear water channels, sans any construction to maintain the river basin. Fourthly, proper planning and assessment of developmental and infra projects. Disbanding or stopping projects which pose a threat to the larger ecosystem of the hills. Refraining from large dams of reservoirs, reducing their magnitude of hydro projects from being over-ambitious projects towards a sustainable project that generates power. Halting the four-laning of roads in hills. This is of paramount importance. Stopping the use of dynamite to blow off hillsides. Stoppage of all illegal construction by the roads, riversides, riverbeds, water bodies, and hillsides. These are a tall order that I'm asking for. And lastly, creating awareness among the people that development, connectivity, modernization, excessive tourism, and overcrowding, none of this can come at the expense of the ecology of the hills. हिंदी में कहते हैं, पहाड़ है तो पहाड़ी है, पहाड़ नहीं तो पहाड़ी कैसा। पहाड़ों को देवलोक की संज्ञा इसलिए दी गई है क्योंकि देवों की तरह ही पहाड़ों का ख्याल जनता को रखना चाहिए। पहाड़ों को तिरस्कार करके मनुष्य देवों के करीब नहीं पहुंच सकता। हाँ, देवलोक जरूर पहुंच जाएगा। सभ्यता, संस्कृति और देवों की रक्षा के लिए हिमालय सदियों से भारत का रक्षक रहा है। अब वक्त है कि रक्षक की रक्षा की जाए।